about that. They just wanted to keep doing the same maps and keeping the game going, and then they just let the game die. I think they did let the game die there. I'm very surprised they had a re-up again. And when they demanded money for the single player game, I thought they might have killed their game, but they didn't. Because there's a really, really strong military shooter sim community in the Arma. I had a lot of shooter kids who were really irked that I didn't like Arma, and I'm like, I don't like Arma. That engine sucks. Yeah, it can do a lot of amazing things. I'm not dumb, and the game itself is like, you know, amazing. It is, but it's not a fun game to play, and neither is DayZ. I'm sorry, but Arma's not good. So like, and I don't mean to rag on these things. It's just, but and Tarkov felt like a better fork of Arma.
Genre is almost too conflicted to go mainstream, or even.
Look, I think UE5. I think Tarkov is UE5.
Reach a wide enough audience for the AAA industry to bother. In my opinion, it suffers from what some would refer to as.
When I first played Tarkov, it took my computer like 10 minutes to load it up, and I was like, there's no reason why this game needs to be so chunky at all.
9. This is when elements of your game naturally come into conflict with one another. They almost can't exist in the same space. If you want to know more about cursed design problems, I will link this lovely video in the description. But basically, it's a contradiction of goals. How do you make a hardcore genre accessible or even palatable to the average player without accidentally making
you
something...
can't. I would say Extraction, like any free-for-all PvP, is actually a very, very niche thing that you can't bring to the general public. It's maybe... This is the problem with the scene. I don't know how Rust got to like 1 million players and then dropped down to like 500 or whatever, or 300. I don't know how they did that, kind of. I mean, I do. I think they kind of fed off of CSGO and like in other games like, you know... Gary's mod, but I'm surprised Rust did as well as it did, because in my estimation, there's only about 30k people, active people, in the free-for-all PvP community. There's only like 30,000 people in the world that have the patience to do it, because you constantly get fucking shafted and they wipe your progress. If you don't get shafted, you get your progress wiped, one or the other. And so like it's a genre that does not attract, and people, a lot of the normal streamers just like laugh at it. They're like, no, the fucking normal community will not touch this game. No, it's toxic. And like they're right too. That's the hard part. I mean, they are right. And so I don't know where Rust got 300,000 people, except for that it's just a genuinely really good game. And while it has its tense clan stuff, you can play it like a Minecraft if you want to. And you also don't have to play with other people either. And so, and some kids are smart enough to understand that. They like Rust. And so it stood out in that respect, because it's its own little sandbox game that people do appreciate and like. But I'm very surprised how well it did. I thought it was going to sit down at 30,000 people, just like New World does, just like Eve does, just like I'm fairly sure that Tarkov does. But no, Rust somehow sat between 240 and like 500,000 for the last 4 years or something like that. And it wasn't that big always, but it does sometimes pull really heavy traffic. And, you know, I don't understand how it did so well, because these other extractions, they don't do so well. Marauders or Cycle Frontier or any of these, like you know, they don't do well.
Something else entirely. How can you be hardcore and casual? All the potentially fun
it
stuff. It
can't be. This game is not casual in any way or form. Nope.
Sniping a player from 200 meters out makes you feel alive. But being on the other end, dying out of nowhere, makes players want to stay away. It's like trying to invent a way for someone to have all the fun of building a sand castle at the beach, but without getting sunburn or sand in all your nooks and crannies. That's just the risk you take. It's a part of life. You could make the UI more readable, show objectives, make it easier to aim, make it so you don't die so fast, but also speed up the combat so you see more than one person every hour, and make loot less scarce. But then what have we made here? It's like the ship of Theseus, but instead I trade out all the boat parts with car parts. And even though I get a kick-ass Lambo, it doesn't float. There's no telling if that will or will not be an enjoyable game, but I can tell you that that will be pretty far removed from an extraction shooter. Whatever that thing is you just freestyled, it already exists and has a flooded market. And I think it's a valid concern because this industry has a habit of suffocating itself with past data. On the other end of the spectrum, I think it will be amusing to see people push the genre to its most sadistic limits. There's always at least one developer who exaggerates design and takes a completely different approach. You want hardcore gaming? I'll give you hardcore gaming. You die in this game, you die in real life. It's probably going to be either Miyazaki or Kojima. Really, what's left to see is who succeeds in what way, or how many failures the industry is willing to accept before calling it quits on this current trend chase. I think there are more extraction shooters to come because I think it's an untapped market with a lot of potential. That can be seen from a business and a creative standpoint. It's the exact opposite of the hero shooter trend chase that had little room for AAA to squeeze in and gave us big hits like Concord. I expect another mass grave though, because this genre is a tricky beast. Really, if I had to place a bet, I would say that the next big AAA game will start as an extraction shooter, but then pivot to something else entirely. That's how it went for Overwatch. That's how it went for Fortnite. Maybe the next big thing is actually an insertion shooter. I don't know. I have thoughts though.
Insertion shooter. Stop. This was good. What else does he do? Let's see. Wow. I didn't know about this. I've seen this before, I guess.
Brandon Ferrantino is developing idle streaming Bonanza. Play as your favorite content creators like Moki Payne, Asmund Silver, and CQX. It's a streamer drama parody game where you match button prompts, watch the bits drop, and feed the brain rot. Each level's a time capsule of live stream fails' greatest hits. There's Dr. Disrespect's grooming allegations, Pokimane and her expensive cookies make a showing, and XQC being an odd dude, as a reference to XQC being an odd dude. Ferrantino's newest level referenced another big streamer named Pirate Software. Now for context, Pirate Software is a developer, hacker, gamer person who runs a ferret rescue, encourages people to get into game development, and boasts an impressive resume from working at a Blizzard during its glory days to hacking for the United States Department of Energy. As far as nerds go, he's seen as the cream of the crop. But some of that cream's dissolved due to, well, it depends on who you ask, I suppose. Some don't like how he appeals to his own authority or misrepresents arguments when he's in the wrong. Others don't like how he doubles, triples, or even quadruples down when he's in the wrong. And some don't like the double standards he applies to himself and others when he's in the wrong. It's not the being in the wrong that people don't seem to like. It's how he mishandles it.
He never ever smiles. He laughs, but he doesn't smile.
That's why I stress at every opportunity that I
methamphetamine maybe
manages expectations. The event Ferrantino chose to immortalize in his game referenced the hardcore World of Warcraft
no, not methamphetamine, but something. Something's with him. Some kind of neurological thing.
Pirate Software abandoned.
But look at that. He almost never ever smiles. It's just how some people are born that way. They just have that dour demeanor. He's got that dour demeanor. He never ever smiles. I remember when this happened. This was funny. I did not fault the way he played at all. He played hardcore perfectly. I mean, I wouldn't say that he made an error here. These guys pulled like idiots, expected that they weren't just gonna die. And
team referred to as roaching out. Was later removed for his behavior following the incident.
He had one health. He was so lucky. Do you see it? He was so lucky. I don't fault him. I mean, if I had one health like that, and these guys all have full health bars, I'm fucking running. I'm running. I'm getting out. And he was like, they were like, "What are you doing, dude? You need to do something, Frost Nova." I'm like, "What are you talking about? I've got one health. You're not healing me. I'm alone. I'm ahead of you. I'm running to the door. I'm a mage. I'm out of mana. What the fuck can I do? Okay, fine. I'll come back to Frost Nova." No, that's just gonna, I mean, you guys are gonna die anyways.
And was later removed for his behavior following the incident.
Wow, and they kicked him for this. And it's like, nah, man, you guys are bad. He was playing perfectly. It's weird, and I don't like Pirate that much. It's weird. I watch his stuff, but I took him off my stream because, like, I don't actually like the way he is. He's sort of like dire. He's dire and dour, and he's a little bit serial. And I don't like that. I don't care say what you want to say about me, but I go the full gamut of emotions all the time. I'll even cry on stream like almost every day. But like this guy, he's just like dead-faced fucking nerd. And I'm sorry, but I don't like dead-faced Ben Stein nerd. I don't like Ben Stein nerd. It's a turn off for me. I don't like waspy dudes who are anal and stuck up and don't smile and want to be like, actually, you know, and all this. And it's
the level
like,
is...
you know, no, I'm sorry. This hat's dumb. I've never understood this. That hat, it's a really cool hat, but the color is fucking terrible. It's terrible.
Called Irate Hardware.
Any other color would have been good. Look, there's all these other colors that this hat could have been in the background that you can see. It could have been that red or that green. I mean, but no, it's that shitty color of tan. And it's a really bad looking hat. I'm sorry, but it is. And I don't mean to diss him on it. It just stands out how bad it looks. It could have been this dark blue. It could have been anything but this terrible shitty gray. I didn't like gray. I didn't like Gandalf's hat either.
Road scrims in a game
Terrible
chat.
shitty linen gray that was boring.
And a voice line from Pirate Software's stream can be heard.
It's weird because I'm also I dislike that he thinks that he invented the haberdashery thing or whatever. He did not invent that. I don't know. My best friend was wearing hats like this when he was like, I don't know, 16 years old or something. And I swear to God, people copied that style. He would wear tricorn hats and stuff like that. Really weird stuff. And I swear to God, my best friend did this so much fucking earlier than fucking Pirate Software. And I get competitive about these things because I'm like, yeah, the hat thing's cool, but it doesn't look good.
As much as you're angry right now, of course I ran.
Yeah, of course I ran.
Tino then posted a clip of his game to the livestream fails subreddit titled "He Put Pirate Software Drama in His Indie Game." In turn, Pirate Software issued a DMCA takedown notice to Valve. This developer is using clips of my voice without my permission. As displayed on the developer's live stream, my voice is being used in this game. The developer does not have the right to use my voice. He included a link to the Twitch clip. The game was taken down. Plot twist, the Steam version of the game didn't actually have Pirate Software's voice in it. The Twitch clip was of the developer's personal build, not the marketplace build. Ferrantino filed a counter notice to get his game reinstated. He also sent a support ticket to Pirate Software and his team directly to tell them his voice was not in the game, and he asked for the DMCA takedown notice to be withdrawn. Mid-live stream, Pirate Software spoke about receiving the counter notice and expressed his intent to sue the developer.
Hey, Kronos, we have to file a legal complaint against that dude earlier. I'm gonna pause this for a moment.
Why do you play these crappy games? Is that Diablo? It's fucking no. It's fucking Path of Exile 1. No, this must be 2. Look at this crappy ass game. I mean, it's playing well. It's not a crappy game, but I mean, like, I don't know. Why do you play these crappy isometric games from 1996? I'm sorry.
There was a dude earlier today that went onto Reddit and said that he was using my voice in a video game, showed a bunch of videos of it, and then put that game up on Steam. A lot of people in the thread told him not to do that would end up being a legal problem for him. He did it anyway. So I filed a DMCA claim, and he has now filed a counterclaim against me. We're going to take you to court. You're going to lose. You cannot use somebody's likeness or voice in any way inside of your game.
Kicked from the game for being AFK.
It's a really stupid thing to do. Incredibly so. So I'm going to send this over to Kronos now.
You sound so fucking angry. You sound like Billy Mitchell. That's not, I mean, sorry, but okay, if there was another nerd in the fucking world that Pirate Software reminded me of, it's Billy fucking Mitchell. And I really don't like Billy Mitchell. You know, this guy's cooler than Billy Mitchell. Definitely, a lot cooler. I've always really liked him because he's fucking smart. He's not hiding that IQ. That IQ is good. That brain of his, it's a good brain. I got no issue with his brain. But his personality is goddamn Billy Mitchell. It always is with these anal retentive nerds. It's like I'm sure that I guarantee that this is exactly how Nicolas Cage is. Nicolas Cage is kind of like this too.
Is a lawyer in copyright.
He talks like this.
That is his job.
They talk like they're God, and they are stating how things are all the time. Because yeah, they do have factual basis behind the things that they're saying. He's not wrong. But I mean, like, the way that you deliver it, it's like Ned Beatty fucking Network or something like this. Like, you're delivering down this news from on high, and you seem incredibly pissed that this other nerd seems to have made a mistake or something like this. And now you're pulling like the vengeful Billy Mitchell as you get catty, but you're like this anal retentive nerd. And like I can understand being this fucking angry and acting like this, but I also I don't think it looks good. It's not a good look.
Mistake.
You can pause that game? Is it even online? No, he's playing Path of Exile 1. I was like, why does this look so old and crappy? Why is he playing Path of Exile 1 in 2025? Why? You gonna do them sequentially, I guess? You're gonna do them sequentially. Look at how crappy Path of Exile 1 looks in 2025. I'm like, why does this look so bad?
Days to respond.
I thought this game was supposed to be Path of Exile 2. But no, he is. I was like, isn't this Path of Exile 1? I was like, this is Path of Exile 1, isn't it? But the frame rate seemed like 120, so I was like, oh, okay, maybe it's Path of Exile 2, and I just don't know. I haven't played it. But I don't need to. I don't want to play Diablo anymore. I've been 16 years old in 1996 and played Diablo 2. Or whatever. Or whatever. I think I was probably like, yeah, no, that was a little bit older. I was like 17 or something like that, 18. But still, I played Diablo. I don't need to play Diablo again. I'm not doing that. You guys can't sell me Diablo again. That's not going to happen. I'm not paying you money for Diablo ever again. Why do you play these crappy games from long, long ago? I don't know. As I play my Fallout, my fucking Final Fantasy 11, my Fallout 76 from like 6 years ago, and my Rust from like 15 years ago, and fucking, it's like, why do you play these old crappy games? And it's like, I shouldn't fault him for that, because it is kind of like two-faced to act like that. I play these old crappy games too, you know? But this is really old and crappy, and it's really like the model is really old. But the frame rate looks like it's Path of Exile 2. Are you sure this is not Path of Exile 2? Because it looks like Path of Exile 1. He's stewing, by the way, because he is like kind of a Nicolas Cage type nerd who actually has anger issues. You can see it. He's got really bad anger issues when somebody pisses him off, and you can see him boil for a few minutes, which is what he's doing. Let him cook. You gotta let him cook.
Finding out timeline, bud.
Brandon Ferrantino responded in a YouTube video and reiterated he did nothing unlawful on Steam.
I showed one video.
Sometimes my best friend comes across catty and sort of anal retentive nerd like this. It comes out in his personality, but then you can see him correct it because he's actually really is a people person. You'll see him get kind of catty and a little bit authoritative like this, and then immediately you'll see him curb himself because he's just not genuinely like that deep down in his heart and soul. But he has the same brain. He's got that super brain or whatever. So he makes analytical points about how dumb and illogical everybody is around him all the time, which is true. But I mean, it's also sort of unpleasant when you act all waspy and catty like this. And my best friend would never act like this. He never would. He has temperaments like this, and he does get angry in the same style, which is sort of like quick and dismissive and sort of angry and terse. Terse is the word I would say it is. It's like terse when you piss off my best friend. I've never seen it from my own perspective because I don't think I've ever pissed him off. Or I pissed him off, but he doesn't ever tell me. And like when you can tell when they are stressed out by somebody that they really don't like, they get terse.
Video of a possible
and that's them cooking. That's them like cooking really bad.
Build or a concept.
And then they explode because they're so anal retentive and so control oriented and so anal that like they can't handle the fact that the anger is causing them to sort of lose control. And so then they explode and they do something dumb and totally uncalculated and usually kind of like spontaneous and totally not like them. They do something dumb that isn't like them. Because they lose themselves in their terse tirade of anger as they explode at you over something they don't like or something like this. It is hilarious. I love poking waspy nerds like this. It's like watching, it's kind of like poking a porcupine or something and then watching it pop its quills or something. It's insane. And they are like this. And it's hilarious to watch their terse, like kind of tense, like anal, like, oh, my lips are like puckered, like terse response, you know, where it's like, you're making me so angry right now. And it's hilarious, you know, we all have anger responses that are often like this, kind of, honestly. But
The game, that concept or what's on my machine was not on Reddit. There's no build of him ever on Reddit or on Steam. There's no data in my game of him on Steam. There's no active build with him on it. So he's chasing fucking ghosts.
Unfortunately for pirate software, it's a case of being confidently wrong. In America, we have very strong free speech laws. It's the First Amendment, for God's sake. This is not as cut and dry as you can't use someone's likeness or voice without permission. Although that does get spread around a lot, but you'd think people on the internet who use Twitch and YouTube would see Twitch and YouTube as enough evidence that there's more nuance to the matter. You have to consider fair use defenses and good faith activities by alleged copyright infringers.
So he's like this, and so he loses his temper and he destroys some other nerd to show the world that he's got that kind of power because he's for some reason more charismatic and more crowd pleasing than most nerds usually are. And so they grandstand like this, and they act like fucking roosters. And they want to smite you or something like that, like God or something. They want to bring the wrath of the God hammer down upon you. It's hilarious. Like Charlie's really guilty of this. When you've seen Charlie pissed, he's insane. He'll pull an M16 or something, and he's like, "Dude, do we need to talk about this or whatever?" And it's like, Jesus Christ, dude, you're a fucking nerd. You really shouldn't have an M16 on YouTube. It's just not a good look. And you exploding in anger like this, it's like let you cook, like let him cook, because it's just not a good look. And watching that terse nerd, that timid terse nerd, just wind their fucking butthole up into a screw and then pop their fucking anger load all over you. It's disgusting and it's weird, and I like poking fun at people like this. I have a dear friend like this who's very anal like this, talks like this, is monotone like that. They're always monotone too. They have a whole type. I've got people like this in my life, and I like screwing with them because they can't really generally take jokes. They can't take jokes. They're just not. They're not. That's not going to happen. They are literal based. They only think whatever you said, and they take it at face value, and they don't know a joke. They don't know a little quip or some kind of like little like, you know, a little sticky attack or something like that. They just have no sense of humor at all. I don't think I've ever seen Pirate Software laugh unless he's telling his own joke.
The DMCA
and that's because like they're weird. They're not sociopaths. They're like monotone and they're autistic, kind of like Nicolas Cage. I think Nicolas Cage is the exact same way. They're like these anal retentive nerds that kind of screw tighter. And they get angry about something because they think they're big king shit men because they're nerds that made it or whatever. But no, they can't. They have no sense of humor about themselves, and you can constantly walk circles socially around these people. You can. If you're at a party and you have some girls, you can walk socially around these people. They can't take a joke. They can't smile with you. They can't handle girls laughing at them or anything like this.
Down notice for using 29 seconds.
And I'm sorry, but that's just not me. I mean, that's him. That's not me. Thank God I'm not like that. My friend A, he is like that, and I have some sympathy for him. He was uptight. Boy, was he uptight. I was told him he should become an accountant. And he's like, "Why do you keep saying that?" And I was like, "Because you're uptight like Tweak all the time. You should become an accountant and check people's taxes, or you should be a tax accountant or something." And he's like, "You know, I've been thinking about becoming a banker." And I'm like, yeah, banker would be good. Yeah. Banker or like accountant. Like checking numbers all day. That's good for an anal retentive nerd like Pirate Software. Doing code or numbers or banker, or I used to tell them to go become an accountant because they're stick in the muds. That's like the literal cliche for them. They're like stick in the muds. They can't handle like somebody like having a laugh in their expense at all. So they explode and they cook. They cook and then they explode. They bottle up and explode, which is hilarious because then you see like this like Ben Stein type who runs monotone at about a 63 mile an hour level at all times, whether he's sleeping or awake or traveling or talking. He's got the same monotone. He moves at the same speed. He doesn't ever get excited. He doesn't ever get like, he doesn't wave his hands around or do anything sudden or anything like that. He's an uptight, tight little turtle. You know? And I love these people, but I also don't really get along with them at all. Like at all. And so this is the problem for Pirate, is while he is qualified for the job, that he is very much so kicking ass in. And I don't mean to be insulting to him in any way or form. I think he's a great guy. I think he's actually a really good streamer. I've watched him for something like 500 hours or something, or whatever. Or not 500, but like 100 hours or something. I've seen almost everything he's done. So I know he's a good streamer. But like overall, Uptight doesn't do well. And this is what they're kind of trying to get at. They can tell how uptight he is. So they just take shots at him. They fire shots at him because they know he's going to cook and explode like clockwork. You can walk all over nerds like this. They're like the bull at the bullfight. If you wave a red cape and insult them in any fucking way or form, or they think you might have some secret joke that they don't understand, or if girls laugh at them, or if you get girls to laugh at them, or anything like that, they will go insane. They will bottle up and explode like some kind of volcano right the fuck front of you. You can see them cooking.
Seconds of bad audio from a Prince song in a Baby video. The final ruling on that matter: copyright holders cannot shirk their duty to consider, in good faith and prior to sending a takedown notification, whether allegedly infringing material constitutes fair use, a use which the DMCA plainly contemplates as authorized by the law. Pirate Software did not consider fair use. He didn't even play the demo. If he had, he would have known his voice was not in the Steam Marketplace version of the game. Therefore, he sent an unlawful DMCA takedown notice, and that opens him up to be sued. I asked Mr. Ferrantino if he asked Pirate Software or Kronos if they played the game. He said they...
These gold buyers, they're incestuous. Like, the gold industry is incestuous because it is the best industry, I think. Or one of the best. I think wood's also good, too. But like, gold is really genuinely, like, solid, good money if you do the work. And they all know that, so this is the first place they go. And so it's incestuous and it's infighty, and the people really don't like outsiders making money and stuff like this. And so the minute that I made one sale of gold ingots, they immediately stop. Now, they buy in bulk. If they buy one stack, they're buying like 5. But this guy immediately saw my name, and he went and checked. And when he saw my name, he stopped buying immediately.
He responded, that's not...
It's dumb. I really believe this, though. I think that just happened. I know it sounds paranoid, and who knows? I'm just totally making this up. Maybe it didn't happen. But I swear to God, normally, if you're going to make one sale, you're going to make like 7. But they check your fucking name, and if they see your name after the first buy, they don't buy because they know that you're not their friend. And they know that the next few purchases will go out to randos or whatever. And I sometimes won't make those sales before they just end up buying from me. It's weird. It's weird how they do stuff on this market. It's so annoying. Like, they disapprove of people that they don't know. And that's okay. I guess that's what a community is. But I mean, like, I've been in the gold market for what, like a year and a half or something. I'm not some stranger.
Or there. It's very much here and there, because beyond the existence of a perceived infringement, you have to...
I love selling gold because people buy it. You know, it sells fast. People buy it. People buy it. They make jewelry out of it. I should do it in real life. You know, it's fun. It's, you know, as long as you're willing to defend it, you're good. You don't keep a lot of it around. You keep it in a bank or whatever, you're good. See, no, I guess no. The sales just stopped. It wasn't that he didn't trust me. It's that the sales just stopped. I guess I go look for, or I guess I go, yeah, I think I'm gonna go Thunder Elise farming, because that is lucrative. If I can farm up Thunder Elementals, I can disenchant I mean, I don't know. Maybe I should check QFIM first, I guess. Yeah, I'll check QFIM to see if Thunder's up. Oh, I mean, I guess I've got to go through QFIM to get where I'm going. And I will farm Thunder Elementals. It's 3 in the morning on a Wednesday, and I should go to bed now. Oh, the time goes by. I didn't get as much as of a day as I wanted to because I had to work for 2 more hours in the garden today. It was so fucking annoying. I had to dump 5 more bags of soil in the afternoon as well. And I lost like some time on my shift today, so I want to stay up later. But I can't really. I mean, I can, but oh no, I can't. I have to like get to bed at a reasonable time because in like 3 days I have dental surgery. I got to get up at like 9 in the morning or something like that. Let's see. Oh, I have dental surgery. Fuck. It's tomorrow. I have dental surgery tomorrow at 9 in the goddamn morning. Oh, that's gonna be really fucking bad. Maybe I should just stay up till 6 and sleep all day. And then just do my job and then go to bed at like, oh god, I don't know. Does that even help really? No, that just makes it worse. That'll make it worse. It's going to be a low-key day tomorrow. I'm going to buy some vodka for the day that I get my fucking dental surgery because it's going to suck. It's going to suck so bad. I should go get Signet.
Consider what's the nature of the work, critique, review, education, etc. Is it transformative enough? How much was used? 41 seconds, by the way. How important is what was used? Does it have an impact on original market value? Is it misappropriating his likeness for an advertisement? It's not as plain cut as, you used my voice, I didn't say you could, now I can sue you. Now keep in mind, I'm not a free speech defense lawyer out of Connecticut that steps in from time to time to help content creators pro bono when their freedom of speech is being impeded, but Mario is. And he says Pirate Software's false DMCA takedown notice of idle streaming bonanza was unlawful. I spoke with him. Mario happened upon Ferentino's video talking about the false claim, and did not like that someone with a large and impressionable audience was spreading free speech misinformation. He also did not appreciate the lawsuit bully tactics. I quote, "It pissed me right the fuck off." So Mario reached out to Brandon Ferentino and took him on as a client free of charge. He made a formal demand.
$246 for the silk. Not bad. Resin lumps. Aren't those worth something? Oh, yes, they are. Yeah, I got 28 of them. I hope they sell. Ooh, rugged leather, not bad. Getting some money.
To Pirate Software's team to withdraw the
This was good, but I don't know. His content was sort of dry, and it wasn't really that good. U.S. government snapped, Marvel snap. Nostalgia ain't what it used to be. The player count gamble. How corpos ruin games. The problem with video game journalism. My problems with Nick Calandra and why I believe he shouldn't work in games media. How Dark Souls designs humor. 27 demos that caught my eye from Next Fest. How corpos ruin games. Let's listen to that one.
If you didn't hear, Sony spent about 8 years and allegedly upwards of $400 million to publish a little disaster named Concord. It officially released August 23rd, 2024 for $40, and it attracted a lot of onlookers, just not a lot of paying customers. The game sold 25,000 units across PC and PlayStation for a gross profit of $1 million, landing $399 million short of the mark. Now, but 2 weeks later, Sony repossessed and refunded the game, making Concord the biggest, most expensive game development flop in all of gaming history. For now. Star Citizen's still taking its sweet
The cost
time.
of Concordia.
On the surface, Concord
Sorry.
appears to be just another executive
Make your
enforced trend
games
chase
good.
made to dig its own grave
Stop
in the
trying to rip
public
us
square.
off.
All the signs were
Sorry.
there. The first trailer reveal was a nothing burger.
The
showing
cost of
nothing but a jiggly
Concordia.
burger. The grave got deeper when we found out it was going to be a hero shooter, a most player count dependent genre in a seemingly saturated market 6 years past its prime. The player characters lacked any discernible style or aesthetic aside from looking like bootleg Guardians of the Galaxy. But totally better, because this time the Peter Quill stand-in has actual quills coming out of him. Destined to die and not worth the autopsy, that's the general prognosis, but I think that's only half true. Concord's death stinks of the usual suspects, yes, out-of-touch corporate trend chasing, but this scenario leaves too much crucial information by the wayside. Metaphorically speaking, the public's got their finger on the right criminal, but they're accusing him of the wrong crime. See, firstly, traditional trend chases are quick and opportunistic, explosive, and relatively inexpensive. It's in the name. Trend chase. It's not a trend marathon. When a game takes off, you only have a small window of opportunity to follow up and take part in the fad. Great example of that is Fortnite chasing after the Battle Royale trend set off by PUBG. Fortnite was conceptualized during an Uber ride, cost $20 million, and developed in 2 months using parts from Epic's other game, Fortnite Save the World. Remember, Concord reportedly took 8 consecutive years to make and cost $400 million. That was way too long and way too expensive.
Fortnite cost $20 million. Oh my
god! And
god!
a harsh pivot 4 times in a row.
I didn't know that.
I wouldn't rule out that possibility. After all, that is kind of what happened with Skull and Bones. However, the second telltale feature of a traditional trend chase is the shaky work-in-progress vibe, where it feels like you're playing in a construction site. If a game is racing to be released, then I'm expecting to see some exposed pipes and caution tape. Developers don't know if the game's going to survive the launch, let alone live long enough to experience long-term issues like spaghetti code and legacy information. Worry about the wallpaper after we get the wall up kind of mentality. Concord seemed far too finished on release. Following that logic, the third sign of a traditional trend chase is a lack of plans for success after the fact. Because there is a certain level of self-awareness and wearing of inspirations on the sleeve from developers knowing that they are working on a trend chase. They tend to be surprised if it works. You don't expect to hear a CEO call an unreleased cash grab the future of their company. Maybe they say it'll pay for their next yacht if they're feeling optimistic.
Like,
saying a game
Power
is a Star
World.
Wars-like project is too bold.
Power World was the trend chase.
And mandating more than 10 of these games by 2026 before you've even got one of them working is unusual and unheard of, to say the least. It's worth zooming out and looking at the wider culture, because it's not just Sony who's acting bizarre. There's other AAA executives who got no business in live service now pushing for live service. Sega considered Hyenas to be a super game worth investing $882 million, more than twice what Concord ended up costing. But ultimately, Hyenas was shut down in 2023 after 5 years of development. We don't know how much it ended up costing, but that is allegedly Sega's most expensive game to date. That's no laughing matter. Platinum Games failed with Babylon's Fall and made all kinds of weird cryptic statements. The projects that we are trying to create for the future will be different in terms of their structure. Considering the changes in the market over the next 5 years or so, I think it's absolutely necessary for us to do this. I'm sorry for being so vague, but I think that's all I can tell you right now. It took about 5 years to develop, released in 2022, and shut down a few months later in 2023. Amazon Games developed Crucible for 6 years, officially launched in May 2020, and took it down a few
I didn't know
months later
Amazon
in
did
November
Crucible.
2020.
Wow.
They also worked on
That's
a
probably
game
how we
called
got New
Breakaway
World.
for roughly 3 or 4 years and never officially released it. Exact numbers are harder to find, but it's reported that during this period, Amazon was spending at least $500 million a year on their gaming branch. This pattern of behavior from multiple higher-ups in different studios is why I don't think Concord or any of these guys are trend chasing in the traditional sense. It feels more like an arms race. It's too premeditated and dogmatic regardless of failure and success.
Ooh, cheap.
Example there is Warner Brothers' Harry Potter game was the highest selling game of 2023, and the release of Suicide Squad was a low point for them. Yeah, Warner
I
Brothers
should
said
have
they would
bought
double down.
Suicide Squad when they experimented with the $3 price tag, because the combat actually did look fun. But I fucked up and I didn't buy it for $3. And I was like, I still think it's a bad game. I don't even think it's worth $3, right? But I should have bought it for $3 because I am curious about the goddamn combat. I wish I had actually bought that stupid, worthless game. And that's weird because it's like maybe it's a good company. Oh, AO 2 out of 5 operation, huh? AO 2 out of 5. I don't know. 2 out of 5 at 3:10 in the morning. I could jump out there. There's nothing really stopping me, but I'm very tired. It is 3. I would come, but it's 3:10 a.m. for me. Bad soon. I want to join them, but I also don't think it's wise. I'm too tired to fly. Nope, there's 200 people here. I don't need to make a mistake. It's 3 in the morning. Oh yeah, 70. I don't know. I'll try 71 though. I actually don't mind that. I'm just gonna keep selling stacks of stuff. I'm gonna buy a house. I bought that whole other set. Oh yeah, I have like a whole bunch of stuff on me, huh? Or no, I guess I need oh yeah, I didn't go spend my Mystic doubloons, but I do want to sell these this furniture stuff, all of it. Look at all that stuff. I should sell all of this stuff for whatever I can get. Yeah, let's sell all 3 for $1. That's fine by me, whatever. There's a buy order for 8. And I'll take it, actually. $95 gold, maybe. I don't know if it'll sell, but this one is supposedly worth $9,000. I would be happy with 5K. Poignant flower hanging basket. Yeah, let's try the market. I want to sell it. I want to sell it for cheaper. This looks like a good drop though. Like maybe I should actually use it. But no, I can't get that much money for this. I don't think so anyways. $40 gold. Or I could have taken the 8 for that. I wish I'd taken the buy order. Whatever. Meal prep set. Nice. Clouds of Heaven. This guy will buy Clouds of Heaven for 2K. I will take it. Sold. Pirate rigging. That was money. That was good money right there. Potted a Pontia cactus. There's the rain. I was like, it's supposed to rain today, and there it is.
On the failed live service model until it worked. Why so stubborn? I have enough experience to wager a guess, but after talking to developers, producers, and games media folk,
no, he's right. I mean, they're not wrong. Live service is the future, but you just have to make the game fun. And it can't be a flop, and it can't be Marvel. And it can't be like a kid's game masquerading as a, you know, like an adult game. There's all this stuff that you did. I don't know why the kids didn't like the game, though.
Are too many.
Don't they like Marvel? I don't know. Does anybody like Marvel? I don't think the kids like Marvel anymore. I definitely don't. I don't like Marvel anymore. So do the kids like Marvel anymore? I don't know. I don't keep up with dumb stuff from like Hollywood like that. Yeah, I'll take it. Sure. What else we got here? We're gonna work our way down these other lists. I've got quite a bit of food and utility and stuff that I don't need. We can sell those. Those, yeah, I'll take it. I don't need these. That was good money. Yeah, I probably don't need those either. Yep, I will sell those for that price. Yeah. Keep the food in case I ever need it. The light rations, yeah. Infused blight tincture, might actually use that. Nightcrawler bait, yep, you can have it. Don't I have a bunch of fish? I think I've got a bit of. I think I have a bunch of fish actually. Deep chocolate dye. You want that for gold, but yeah, I think I can probably get like a lot for that actually. Copper dye. They gotta work on this auction house. It's something about it. It's just not that good of an MMO auction house. It's fucking annoying. All these dyes. See if we can get any of this money. I'm at 31,000 and I was at 28,000 like a few minutes ago. Making quite a bit of money. Hey, look, it's Defile Rabbit's Foots. I have 3 of them and they sell for 220. What do they do? Oh yeah, okay, well, melee wrap. That's focus by 1 for 40 minutes. Doesn't really make sense, but okay, here we go. Yeah, strong health potions. Nope. Common gemstone dust. Let's see if that sells. Yep. Music's a bright wood for gold 80. We'll see if those will sell. I got a bunch of this stuff on the market, which is good. Soft cyan dye, but we're actually looking for like anything else that looks rare. Yeah, like, let's see what we have here. I shouldn't have sold all of my tannin, but we could sell all of this stuff right now. I mean, it's not like I really need it per se. I mean, it is a lot of money people are buying. I think I would just like to lighten the fucking, like, all this stuff that I have. Let's start from the top again and just sell all this stuff. I really don't care. I don't think that's worth it to sell that wire weave or that solvent. But if they'll buy a city and sandpaper for that price, actually, I would like to sell the whole thing, actually. Yeah, because I know they'll buy it. Greenwood for 2 cents. That's not a good market. That has died. People are chopping too much wood. Shard of ironwood resin, excuse me. Nice. 3:17 in the morning. I'm not really tired, which is a problem. I could flip my schedule, I suppose, and try to go to bed like later tonight. And it's raining today, so I don't have to walk. If I were to flip my schedule today wouldn't be the worst day to do that. Because tomorrow I have dental surgery, which is so fucking annoying. I'm not looking forward to that. They're going to put my permanent fucking thing in, and it's going to hurt again for like another week. But then I'm done, finally. 98 gold, not bad, I'll take it. Iron metals, eggs. Eggs are worth a lot. Nice, yeah, we'll take those. 150 gold for eggs, I'll take it. String beans, but we're looking like just down like for stuff that looks like rarer, like ebonwood, maybe. Yeah, I'll get like some money for that. Oh yeah, do I maybe I will join the Eve up and just run it. I could stay up. No, I don't know. He's running this up so late at night. I don't really think I need to go to this. I'm so tired. I shouldn't make a mistake. Fire quintessence. That's going to be some money. Yeah. Platinum ingot. Soul sprout flower.
First middlemen, investors, and executives calling the shots. The creatives and sensible business-savvy folk have been shuffled out of the impactful roles and no longer have much of a say. That sounds dramatic, but it's an almost inevitable cycle that we see in different industries. A creative person makes something successful, and if they don't know how or don't care to handle the business side, they hand it off to someone else. A quality-first individual with background in management, engineer types are what you want for the long term. Money-first people with backgrounds in stocks, banking, sales, manufacturing are great for two things: balancing the books and saying no to them when they try to get creative, otherwise they will run your operation like a factory. They're great at that, and their success there is how they end up in positions of power here in the video game industry, where their methods don't translate as well in the long term. It's a different philosophy. It's this attitude that's overcome us. You want to know what led to Blizzard's fall from grace? Here's the CEO, Bobby Kotick, talking about the change in culture from creative-led to suit-led. You have studio heads who 5 years ago didn't know the difference between a balance sheet and a bed sheet, who are now arguing allocations in our CFO's office pretty regularly. We have a real culture of thrift. The goal that I had in bringing a lot of the packaged good folks into Activision about 10 years ago was to take all the fun out of making
runic
video
leather.
games.
Nice.
Mission accomplished. It is my belief that greedy executives and the middle management money buddies that are allowed control of a video game operation will eventually drive it into the ground, because that's the playbook that's always worked for them. And there is no incentive for them to improve or adapt, because if they get fired, they get a massive golden parachute send-off worth millions of dollars. In my opinion, that's the biggest, most successful scam currently being run in corporate America. Now let's talk about how that money-first mentality translates to game design. They're spending a lot of money over a long period of time, but have you noticed that they're effectively tripping over themselves to create the same type of game? These executives say they're gambling on an ambiguous future. They don't know what it looks like, but they know it's coming. They can make anything they want. Chess too. There's JRPGs, why not K and LRPGs as well? Yet they're rolling the dice on role-based, team-based, multiplayer versus player experiences held together in a perpetually online live service wrapper. Maybe they all get the same cherry tomato popping loser in their ear leading them astray, but that seems highly unlikely. What's more likely is because they all think the same way, that being a money-first philosophy, they've all come up with the same solution. And here's how you get there. First, lay out the goals. Make the most profit possible. To make the most profit possible, you have to increase your revenue as high as you can, and just as importantly, you need to drop your costs to as low as you can. This principle here, maximizing profit by increasing revenue and decreasing costs, is why we hear about AAA games selling really well one day, and then the team gets laid off or the studio gets shut down the next. Goal's been marked, now let's choose a monetization model that best serves our goal. You've got the classic, pay an upfront fee, get a game back, end of transaction. Oh, how far we've strayed from the light of God. Problem there is you'll really only generate money once per customer. You'll have to make another game or an expansion to get them again, but it costs money to make more game. How about a subscription model? It lets you get multiple transactions from the same person throughout the year, but have gone a bit out of vogue. And if you ever stop making content, so do the reasons to resubscribe. So we end up at live service and cosmetic sales that have shown, historically, the potential to have the highest return on investment. But you still have to make more content to keep your game relevant and people interested in returning. But you can get out of this cycle, thus lowering your costs even more by making the gamers the content. That's how we end up choosing multiplayer for our game. It's like choosing to have 2 kids instead of 1 so they'll entertain each other and leave you alone. Competitive multiplayer games tend to hold on to a fan base longer because going against other players, winning and losing, is considered the core gameplay loop. Every time you face off against a different team, it's new content, so to speak. We've narrowed it down to live service, multiplayer, team, PvP, but why a role-based game? That is simply to have as much broad appeal as possible. If everyone's playing as the same character and fulfilling the same role, then you're only creating one playstyle and attracting one type of person. Making different roles lets you attract people who like to play as supports, tanks, summoners, flankers, all different kinds of players, and this creates various permutations of interaction. to keep people hooked for hundreds, if not thousands of hours. With this approach, you can cast as wide a net as possible, and it further entangles the players that are already present. You want die-hard fans because they're the ones that stream your game, make videos of your game, talk about your game on social media, at home, at work, at school. They invite others to play with them. They help onboard new players, and this saves you money on marketing. And if you have a base that's committed enough, and you provide them the tools, you can even have the gamers make the rest of the game for you. That is what executives are after. A game with as wide appeal as possible that markets itself, effectively makes itself, and that they get to monetize over and over again to keep costs down, revenue up, and maximize profits. Theoretically, there's no cap to how much money a game like that can make. In fact, games like this kind of already exist. League of Legends is a free-to-play, role-based 5v5 MOBA whose core gameplay hasn't changed all that much in nearly 2 decades, but rakes in anywhere from $1 to $3 billion annually. Dota 2 is also a free-to-play, role-based 5v5 MOBA whose core gameplay hasn't strayed too far from its beaten path since 2013, and generated $293 million in 2023 alone from battle passes, and others have tried to develop a game like these. There's an entire cemetery of MOBAs with a lot of money and time invested in them. Blizzard Heroes of the Storm released 2015 and put in maintenance mode in 2022. Gearbox Battleborn released in 2016 and shut down in 2021. Gigantic released in 2017 and shut down in 2018. Amazon Games Crucible released in May 2020 and discontinued in November 2020. Epic's Paragon soft released in 2016 and officially canceled in 2018. This has happened before. Hero shooters are effectively MOBAs in a perpetual teamfight stage without minions and towers, which makes the genre even more accessible and gives it potentially even wider appeal. But again, it doesn't matter if it has wide appeal if it can't be repeatedly monetized. Blizzard had Overwatch and they replaced it with Overwatch 2, which by now has turned into Overwatch 1 but with a free-to-play monetization model. If there's any one game that I can point to as being a business executive's wet dream, it would be Valve's Counter-Strike Global Offensive. It was released in 2012, now known as Counter-Strike 2, and it generated over $1 billion from loot boxes alone in 2023. 8 years of development time and $400 million doesn't sound like such a bad investment now, does it? The players entertain each other and have kept it relevant as one of the most popular esports games in the world, and the best part, the gamers not only make the maps for future content releases, they also make the skins that Valve sells. Only thing it's missing is the roles in the different characters, but maybe that's why Valve's creating Deadlock. Unfortunately, there is a major flaw when designing MOBAs and hero shooters. It takes more players to reach critical mass than any other genre, so they tend to fizzle out before we can really see what they're made of. And it doesn't take much for them to fall apart later down the road. But I'll save that discussion for the next video. It's more math than discussion, really, and I'd need another drink for that. A few quick updates before we part ways, though. Cold Take's going to continue to stay on this channel and is going to focus on business, culture, and investigative journalism. I'm also looking to start another series where I audit live service games so that consumers can see how their time and money is being spent. It's something I enjoyed doing with Helldivers 2, and I wish I was the guy that found that Destiny 2 was bugged. If you have any suggestions for games that you feel have dodgy economies or are respectfully monetized, then feel free to leave them in the comments. There's also live content. I stream over at twitch.tv/theotherfrost. We do puzzles and quizzes for warm-ups and then a bit of critical discussion over gaming news and some game showcasing. If you're wondering about review content, Will and I did start up a Substack, and we are creating another YouTube channel just for review content. I'll be sure to keep you posted on that. We do have a community Discord now, links in the description if you want to stay posted even sooner. Let's see here, I'm in another video game. This will be my third one working with Fatbot Games. We did Vaporum Lockdown, and now this one's called Gravelord. I'm not sure when it fully releases, but you can wishlist it now if you want, and there is a demo in my time of making this video. And finally, for those that wish to support my endeavors financially, there is the Ko-Fi, the Patreon, the Substack, the Twitch. Pick your favorite. All links will be in the description. There's no shortage of problems in the video game industry. Take your pick. We got workplace abuse, alleged charity fraud, run-of-the-mill corporate malarkey, sexual misconduct. That one seems to be happening a lot, actually. And why just the other week, a guy was exposed for faking the existence of a prominent accessibility advocate. Twice. And the video game journalists that cover these stories have been in their fair share of the excitement. Unethical quid pro quo, culture wars, trying to blackmail a man with his own homemade erotica. It doesn't happen that often, but enough times to question the legitimacy of the entire affair. And when trust of the game's press goes away, the demagogues come out to play. These are people who take advantage of the chaos to cause problems for profit and sell solutions. And it's hard to get rid of them because first you have to educate people on how we got here in the first place, and then you have to convince people it's important. But I'll give it a go. Because I believe gamers, developers, and journalists should be informed of Nick Calandra's unsavory behavior. I'm gonna take a casual stroll through history first, but if you're just looking for the trouble, feel free to skip ahead to the time shown. Pretend YouTube existed in the 1890s. New York World and New York Journal were butting heads and competing to be the biggest daily news channel of their time. There were two problems, though. Firstly, reporting on major events accurately is a slow process. Major events don't happen every day, and when they do happen, most of your time spent fact-checking and trying to find people who are...
Welcome back to another New World Guide. My name is Laz, and today we're going to talk about the Gold Curse Coconut. Gold Curse Coconut is the endgame material used to upgrade artifacts and gear. It's important to note you can only obtain one Gold Curse Coconut a week, and they are only found in the new PvP zone, the Cursed Mists. To get the Gold Curse Coconut, you'll want to fast travel to the Sanctuary Shrine in Cutlass Keys and follow the northern coast into the Cursed Mists. First, we're going to stop at Cutlass Keys to craft a glittering gold key at the Well of Mist crafting guide as soon as I get through some of this stuff for what you can do at the Well of Misfortune. So once I have that, I will make sure to link that in the description. Moving along. Now we're going to fast travel to the Sanctuary Shrine, and we're going to start moving along the northern coasts.
Do you not have a
Right
mount?
before entering the PvP zone is where you're going to find
You don't have a
chest that I
mount.
referred to that has 500 cursed doubloons.
You won't pay for a mount?
Once you enter the PvP
But you're trying to build a career out of New World or whatever?
zone, you'll automatically
Some of these gamers, man.
flag for PvP. And if you loot any cursed items, half those will drop upon death. Don't worry, your coconut is safe. You will not lose that on death. Now, there are two types of chests in this area. First is the Cursed Stash. This contains a couple doubloons. What you're looking for are the Cursed Hoards. They look like these epic chests right here. This is where the coconuts come from. You'll need to loot up to 4 of these hoards to get your weekly coconut. So that's right, there's kind of a mercy rule there. If you don't get it on your first 3, the 4th one, you're guaranteed to get it. You'll need to do some general searching in this area. Once a hoard is looted, it disappears, but it will respawn. And once you have your coconut, you're going to want to hightail it out of the PvP zone is the same way that we came in. Do not fast travel until you're completely out of the PvP zone, or you'll lose your cursed items. They essentially need to be cleansed when you're walking through that gate, leaving the PvP.
So I can get a 725 item like once a week. So after 5 weeks, you're just done. I guess it would be 8 weeks after like 2 months. Okay. So yes, I would like to get 725 items and stuff. So let's go see about that. I guess that's the next thing that we do. Because that's the most gear effective thing I can do. I will just run all the way to kill players in the Citadel, I guess. Take me there, but I've got to pee. It's 3:30 in the morning. I should go to bed now. It's fucking annoying. I think I am. I'm gonna go to bed. I don't want to stay up this late, so because it'll just fuck up my week. And if I want to be up at 9 in the morning, I've got to be in bed by like 12 tomorrow. So. I mean, I could pull an all day. I could caffeinate here and go to bed, but I probably won't make it till like 6 o'clock or something, and then I'll be up, and then I don't know. I'm not tired, but I am. I guess I could sleep. Come back to this tomorrow, I guess. There's not enough hours in the day, and my family is like doing gardening and stuff, so they've like taken up some of my time during these days, and that like hurt me. It's kind of annoying. It didn't hurt me, but it's like it hurt my time. It's kind of annoying. My day was like less than I normally do. Damn, I've won 3 in a row. Thrasher Fleets and 2, or whatever I got. I forget what I got. Oh, but these are cheap, though. Let's do 2 bets across, though, because it can't hurt. I could still, still sell a sack of them for, 100 mil. I make so much money out the Hypernet. Yeah, I believe I will stop here. I love you guys. Thank you so much for your time. You've been watching Skycat Live. I am a all day, every day, full-time variety gamer. Put me on in the background. Come click on the cast space to donate. Come to the Twitch TV and YouTube. Give me a like, sub, or a follow. I'm going to go to bed here. And then tomorrow I don't have to walk, so I'm just going to wake up probably around 12 or something like that. And I will... Oh, sort of stretching. I will go back to work, and I will be on until midnight, and then I will go to bed, and then I'll go get dental surgery, and then I'll be back to do more gaming, and I'll drink. I will drink on that day that I get dental surgery, even though it's probably kind of bad to do, but I'm gonna drink vodka and cranberry juice on that day just to pass the day, because it's gonna be annoying and full of pain. Oh yeah, let's redeem. Oh nice. Ooh, Praxis Tyrant Breaker. There's a basic Capsuleer Day Cerebral Accelerator. Can I well, I don't know. Can I use that? Well, yeah, I probably can use the Cerebral Accelerator. It only lasts 29 days, so just use it. Ooh, a Praxis skin. That's good. I like the Praxis skin. That's actually something I use. Potent Capsuleer Day booster that will go away in 27 days. It gives faction standing increases, which isn't that bad. Next time I run a sleeper event, I'll run this Potent Capsuleer Day thing. I'm gonna go to bed. I quit out now. And I'll keep this spinning for a few more minutes and stuff because I've got to publish, but okay, guys, I'm done. Thank you so much, and I love you guys. I'm going to stop the video here, just with a reminder that you've been watching Skycat Live, and I have thousands of videos thousands of videos on my YouTube channel. And, yep, and we just got yesterday's up, just went up, and I'm sorry if it was slow because I had kind of technical difficulties yesterday, but, and, yep, and I got the Arc Raider stress test, which was cool, and yeah, doing good. So, am going to be back tomorrow. I love you guys. Thank you. Bye.